Small Business Administration loans, better known as SBA loans, were created by the U.S. government to help small businesses grow and to strengthen the U.S. economy. U.S. Century Bank is one of those banks designated by the U.S. government as an SBA preferred lender. The bank is not only capable of lending money to small business owners, but it can also play a major role in making that loan as effective as possible. Today, we will talk about how one can go about obtaining one of these SBA loans, and especially how U.S. Century Bank is different from other lenders because of the services it can offer. It is a pleasure for me to talk with Juan Pablo Rincon, Senior Vice President of Business Banking of U.S. Century Bank. Juan Pablo, how are you?
Hi, how you doing, Dora?
I would like to start off by understanding how the SBA loans function and how one can go about benefiting from one of these loans in South Florida.
Basically, one of the main criteria of the SBA 7A program is that the business must be a for-profit business. So it's a company that, again, it will be generating an income and a revenue to the economy. It will be hiring employees, which is something that the SBA really cares about, which is promoting employment. It allows the company to borrow money under more preferable terms and more preferable structures, given the guarantee that is provided by the SBA, meaning the government, to that bank that is giving the loan.
You offer financial advice and you help those in the process of obtaining those loans. How does that service work?
Yeah, so basically, as a community bank, we are very relationship driven. We're very connected to the community that we serve, especially Miami-Dade County, Broward County, and the South Florida market in general. We normally get very hands-on the details and the number of paperwork, the amount of paperwork that is required for this type of lending. One of which is, for example, creating and putting together a business plan, a professionally written business plan that will have to, that's going to be a requirement within the SBA. In addition to that, it is required for these SBA programs for the company to put together a financial forecast or a financial projection. So that is something that we can also assist the client with the preparation of those documents.
So how do I go about obtaining one of these loans? What's the process?
I think the first step here, Dora, is for the company to identify, of course, their working capital needs or identify that they do have a financial need. Once they have accomplished that, I will recommend that they reach out to their bank in order to basically explore the option again of eligibility for the SBA programs.
Juan Pablo, South Florida is an area in the United States very prone to natural disasters because of the hurricanes mostly. How does the SBA loan help out those in South Florida that are exposed to this kind of disasters?
The endless uses and purposes an SBA loan can be given to an applicant or to a borrower are, again, endless. So one of them could be to prepare for any potential economic disaster, in addition to hiring new employees, in addition to marketing expenses, or being able to basically expand their facility. So the reasons and the purposes for a company to apply for an SBA 7A loans are really endless because of the broad range of eligibility uses that the 7A program has.
You understand the importance of artificial intelligence, of technology. It's here to stay. We need to make it part of the way that we function. What service do you offer so that one can make better use of this technology?
Yeah, so again, the uses of these funds up to the $5 million limit of the SBA 7A allows you to not only invest in real estate, for example, for a company to buy the real estate, as I mentioned earlier, but also to expand their capacity in technology, in equipment, including AIs.
Juan Pablo, business acquisitions are also a path that some small businesses might want to take. Do you advise on that sort of strategy when they approach you and especially looking for an SBA loan?
Absolutely. The SBA 7A program allows companies and individuals to be considered for a business acquisition of an existing operating entity. So the SBA will support, with the bank's guarantee, the financing of this new business that the individual is getting into. So, for example, we will have to complete, of course, a business valuation. We will have to do a thorough analysis of the company that is being purchased. We will have to do a thorough analysis on the individual background to make sure that the industry experience matches the company and what the company does.
For those that want to apply for this sort of loans, what are the most common mistakes so that they make sure not to commit them along the way?
I think one of the first one I will say is not knowing the 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 real amount that is needed for the business on a forecast of 24 months. So in many cases, business owners come to me or they come to their banks and they normally ask for a lot less to what they really forecast to need in the next 24 to 36 months. So one of the things about the SBA 7A program is that you really need to have those finances and have a really good pulse on what the company needs are going to be, not only in the next 12 months, but in the next 36 months. So that way you can properly assess and determine what's going to be the loan amount that you're going to need.
For those that are interested in this sort of loan, but they might be a little bit maybe afraid, maybe, that they're doubting. Should they? Shouldn't they? What would you advise them? Why should they go about obtaining one of these loans from U.S. Century Bank?
I think like anything else in business, Dora, you have to really sit down and make an assessment of the opportunities or the options that you have in front of you. Perhaps the 7A loan, it is the path for that particular company or that particular business owner. But perhaps it's not. Perhaps it's a conventional loan that they have to go after or that they are able to pursue. So depending on the quality of the financial statements of the company, depending on the maturity level of the company, a business owner may pursue and may be the better option a 7A program or maybe a conventional loan, depending on the appetite of their lender, of their bank.
Juan Pablo, what are the top 3 requirements that a small business owner must meet in order to apply for one of these SBA loans?
I will say, in my opinion, the number one requirement, of course, is a U.S. government program. And being a U.S. citizen, the business owner must be U.S. citizen or a U.S. permanent resident here in the United States. I will think that the number 2 requirement to always keep in mind for these programs is the personal guarantee. So that a business owner or business owners, if it's plural, they have to understand that they have to provide their full commitment to these loans, not only to the lender, to the bank, but also to the SBA. So all SBA loans are required to be personally guaranteed by the business owners. And number 3 will be the corporate guarantee, which is basically the company providing that guarantee in the form of a UCC-1 filing.
Thank you very much, Juan Pablo Rincon, Senior Vice President of Business Banking, U.S. Century Bank. It's been a pleasure talking.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you, Dora.